This is my daily commute. I'm just passing downtown. But for some reason, whenever we get in here, there is just brutal traffic. So I typically listen to books, and in the past I used to talk to people on the phone, but right now I'm listening to a book on Napoleon, and I've learned a lot. Number one, that Napoleon apparently was married to a trifling woman to begin with, but I think just the context of his life and learning a little bit more about where he grew up and how his career progressed, it's just really interesting. Every time I'm thinking about these, I'm like, man, I should make a video on what I'm thinking about. Not that it's that interesting, but again, my background from a historical sense is in military history, and I spent a lot of time learning about that when I was in school. And so it's super interesting for me to listen to all of the different things that Napoleon did and what determined the outcome of like the different battles and so on. And I'm now into there's three acts really. There's the rise of Napoleon, okay, where you have the French Revolution and he eventually becomes, there's a coup d'etat and he becomes the Emperor of France. And this is all really in his early 30s. There is the second act where you have the rise of Napoleon to the highest point of his career. And then there is the third act, which begins with the invasion of Russia. And that's really the fall of Napoleon from grace. And so I'm now in that fall from grace, and it's tough to listen to because I know where we're going. I know what the ultimate end result is going to be. The other book that I listened to the other day, not the other day, it's been a while now, was Anthony Bourdain's second book, Medium Raw. His first one was, maybe Medium Raw was the first one. But either way, Anthony Bourdain, I like the way that he thought, and the reason that I'm connecting Anthony Bourdain and Napoleon together is that they were both pretty well-educated men from the upper class of society, and I think that context, their experience with classics and literature and all of those different things, framed the way that they looked at the world and allowed them to think about the world in a diverse way, think outside the box, think of things differently than the common man. And I'm not so much hating on the common man because Elon Musk continually says, I think the MBA, the Masters of Business Administration, is what challenges the current business climate. He's probably not wrong. He thinks he seeks people who are intelligent outside of what education is. But I like the concept of both Anthony Bourdain and Napoleon taking education, and upon that foundation of education, viewing their world through that lens of experience. Don't get me wrong, plenty of people that are super educated can't get out of their own way. But I just also love the way that they write. Like, Napoleon was a voracious communicator. Like, he literally spent a ton of time sending letters and writing, and Anthony Bourdain, on top of all of the other vices that he had, loved writing, and obviously became a person who wrote books for a living, who had his own television series, who was able to travel the world, but the ability to be in a situation where you can articulate these different pieces to your life and how they impact you. That's what I love. So not a super long video, but I wanted to share what I think about when I'm driving home. Most of the time I'm listening to books on Audible, or I'm talking to people on the phone, but I think kind of outside the box, outside the realm of what I actually do, which is coach track and field. So for example, today we went into the office, we talked about scholarships I had a conversation with a recruit and her family that committed. That was pretty exciting. Then we went back, we had lunch as a staff, then we went to practice, and now I'm back in the car, and really what I'm spending my time thinking about in the car is Napoleon and his fall from grace. I think when I get home, I'll probably have a little dinner, hang out with Jackson a little bit, the toddler, and that'll probably be my full day. The way that I typically end my days is watching stuff on YouTube. So that's just, I don't know, just a breakdown of what my day looked like, and I just wanted to share some of my thoughts. Trying to change some of the ways that I edit some of these videos, but I wanted to get some content out there so people can enjoy that. So thank you guys. Have a great day. Oh, meanwhile, you guys are missing out on an awesome traffic jam. And my situation's a lot less exciting than Tom's. No one's dying, but I'm also not moving anywhere near the speed that that guy on that bike was.